Today we're going to do a quick drive and we're going to discuss what it feels like to put the factory 19-inch wheels back on the car with the summer tires. My 18-inch Titan 7s with the all seasons on there, and switching the wheels definitely makes the car feel quite a bit different. I also finally got caught in some rain, so in the next few days I'm going to give the car a nice little wash, but it looks pretty good. For any of you that have the Championship White or this FL5 Type R, seems like the back end always seems to get the dirtiest, but it's a little windy, so let's go ahead and get in the car and get started here. Give it a little exhaust rev, see if you guys can hear it. I think it sounds fantastic. Let's go for a ride. You know, it's still only late March, but our temperatures are basically above 40 degrees every day in the morning, which is usually what I do before I wait to put the 19s back on the car. This is a fun little road, but... So one of the first things you'll note, that I noticed when I put these wheels back on the 19-inch ones, comfort mode feels a lot heavier in the steering. I normally run, I think, 265, 35, 18s, I believe, for my all-season Titan 7s. So yeah, basically running in comfort mode, this steering, just going from left to right, feels a lot heavier, but it does feel more precise when I'm deciding which way to really steer the car around the roundabouts when I'm going fast. The second thing I've noticed, which it's a little harder to notice when the windows are up, that these sticky tires, they pick up all of the rocks. Oh yeah. So I definitely recommend getting some mesh guards or rock guards, mud flaps, whatever you call them, that cover some of the vent. The ones I have, it's just a little bit of mesh. I could have got ones that cover it completely, but I thought that would take away from the factory reasoning behind having them in the first place. So, but yeah, we're just gonna go for a nice little cruise, discuss what I'm thinking about doing next to the car, and just enjoy because the sun's finally out. And I had some plans, but they fell through, so we're just gonna go for a little drive here. So I've been looking at different modifications for the car, and I might be doing some kind of security idea first. It was either that, at least right now that's catching my eye, was maybe replacing this mirror with a spoon, where it is blue and it kind of blocks some of the lighting when you have people behind you, and it's a little bit more curved, so you'll be able to see just a little bit more. But yeah, the car's doing great, 13,513 miles. I don't really drive a lot because I live so close to both my jobs, and my part-time job, I like to ride my scooter as much as possible, so my car doesn't just hang out in the parking lot getting car dings and things like that, even though I like to park in the very back. I also think it'd be cool to get the spoon, the mirrors that replace these right here. So that might be my next option, but I do like the idea of getting some kind of security. I was looking at maybe, I think it's called Ghost Lock, but I need to do quite a bit more research before I decide what I'm gonna do. Something that just makes the car a little bit more secure, maybe gives it some GPS tracking, makes it harder for people to use the device that steals your immobilizer key, and then they can just open your car door basically. So maybe something like that, but you know, I don't know yet. We did several mods at once, the front lip, the Alcantara leather boot. Luckily, I don't need to buy tires for a while. I think these summer tires are gonna last me at least 2 more years, and then my all season on my Titan 7s, I think the car will be paid off before I need to get new tires, so that's pretty awesome. Thought about maybe also upgrading the tires eventually to the Continental Contact 7 summer tires, but I've enjoyed these so far. I mean, I definitely feel the road more. If anybody's curious what I run on my settings, there we go. I do engine and R. We do steering and sport, suspension and comfort, engine sound and comfort because I've got an exhaust mod, I can hear it just fine. Rev match on sport and gauges in R, which the comfort gauges have actually grown on me a lot. I like being able, if I'm not driving aggressive, the comfort mode is nice because you can actually see the tack a little bit better as far as, am I at 1800 RPM or 2000 RPM? The lake's looking nice and shiny today. Do you guys have any suggestions on what I could maybe do next? If you look at the description of this video, I'll have all of the modifications listed on the car that I have done currently. I also think it could be pretty cool eventually to get Honda, maybe a downpipe, and then just run like 93 octane, and that would give me a good little boost in power. But yeah, other than that, I enjoy the car. I grew up in high school around, I was a freshman in 1997. I didn't get a car until I was a junior in high school, and I ended up getting a 1987 Honda Accord DX. It had an A20 engine that put out 98 crank horsepower. Now, boy, I love that car. But after just a few weeks of getting it, I realized that I made a bad decision. They offered a fuel-injected version, and I got the carbureted one, and it was automatic. And I think this was just right before or right around the time I started playing Gran Turismo with one of my good friends, Austin. And I think it was Gran Turismo 1 or Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation, but my family's also always owned Honda, so for me, Honda was a good choice. But I was really sad that I didn't do more research and get an automatic, or I'm sorry, a manual transmission or a fuel-injected one, because man, I'm telling you, there weren't a lot you could do to a 1987 Honda Accord 4-door DX. I remember trying to make my own intake, and I had a friend that had a probably like a 97 or 98 Acura Integra GSR with a thumping sound system, and he had a Type R transmission in it. Just the way the car sounds when you shift and all that, you just can't do that with an automatic. So I got that car at 17, and I drove that thing until I was 21 years old, and it just started having a lot of issues. After that, my parents helped co-sign, and I got a newer Civic. I didn't get what I wanted. I really wanted to get the Civic Si, but I ended up getting a 2003 Honda Civic EX Coupe, and it was a silver color. I don't remember what the paint code was, but I really liked that car. I put a full exhaust on it, intake. It sounded pretty good for a little, what motor was that? A D17 single overhead cam. I remember taking it to the quarter mile once, and I got a 16.3, which is a big improvement over, you know, my Honda Accord that ran like a 19-second quarter mile. I mean, that thing was just slow. And that's when it was new too. This, you know, it was much older. When I bought it, I had over 100,000 miles. But that's a little of my Honda life, man. And I drove that 2003 Honda Civic for about 7-8 years, and then finally got rid of it, gave it to my friend, and purchased me a 2005 Honda S2000. I got that thing for $16,000 in 2011. And it came with 39,000 miles in the beautiful color of Silverstone. Boy, I love that F22 motor. That thing sounded amazing. Beautiful, beautiful car. And I basically drove that for a good 6 or 7 years. And then I ended up trading it in, and I got myself a 2018 Crystal Black Pearl Civic Type R. The Type R finally in America. I feel like these tires do hook up a little bit better than the all seasons, so that's nice. We can share the road there, buddy. So yeah, I had that black Civic Type R for about 2 years. I wasn't in the best financial situation, so after about 2 years I got rid of it and bought myself a Honda Insight Hybrid, and I drove that for about 1.5 years. Worked my butt off, saved more money, got into a better place financially. And then I traded that in, which I got a fantastic deal. This was a little bit after COVID, so it's like I might have purchased the car for $26,000 and then sold it for like $30,000. But I did end up overpaying and got myself a 2020 Honda Civic Type R in the beautiful championship white. Because that black car, which I got brand new, that Type R, it was such a pain to keep clean. I mean, you could see every little swirl mark. It was not fun for somebody that's a little bit OCD or just getting into, you know, car detailing, because the paint on that Silverstone always looked so good. Let's see. Now, I kept that Civic Type R for a little over 1 year, 1.5 years, I think, and then the FL5 came out, and I was pretty happy about that. I liked how it looked. I liked the toned down interior. I liked the exterior. Type R gauges, the all red seats. The FL5 really reminds me of the 90s Type R's with the all red seats, and there's no red in the dash or any of that crap. And while I still had my 2020 Civic Type R, I got a vinyl tape and I deleted the red off the wheels and off the body kit. Man, I thought it looked so clean. And then a few months later, boom, FL5 comes out, doesn't have that red strip. I was like, see, me and Honda, we're doing the same thing. I knew it. I love the FK8. They're both, and the FL5, they're both great cars. I feel like this one serves my needs a little bit better as far as how good it looks and what I prefer out of my, you know, my cars. And now what I did is I traded in the 2020 FK8 Championship White, and this was in June of 2023, so the car had only been out for a few months, and I told myself, I'll probably just wait till next year. Well, I had 2 weeks of vacation. I had way too much free time, and I considered that I had found a really good deal, so I drove from Kansas City all the way to Virginia, traded my car in, and then drove back. And I actually have a video on it. I think it's like a 1,100-mile adventure. It's on my channel, but that was fun. I hadn't really gone on a road trip like that in a long time. All right, let's have some fun real here. Woo! And that's my stories with my Hondas. Some people are like, oh, you could have got a better car, you could have done this, you could have done that. I'm a Honda fanboy. I'm always going to want to drive a Honda. And for me, this is the ultimate car besides maybe an NSX. It's a great daily driver. You have your different driving modes. It's a hatchback. It's got 4 doors. I mean, I could put a full bed back there. I remember one time going to Walmart with my S2000 just to buy a picture frame for my poster. I couldn't fit it in the car unless the top was down. So this is just a way better daily driver. It's quieter. It gets better gas mileage. It has so much more power than the S2000. I mean, you know what's interesting? If you drag race this and an NSX, obviously the NSX takes off faster, rear wheel drive, a little bit more efficient, you know, getting right on the gas, the car can just pull really quick. But at the end of the quarter mile, both cars, I believe, come across the quarter mile at the same time. It's that turbo catches up. I did get to ride in my friend's NSX for about two hours. He drove me around Kansas City on the highway, and this guy knew how to drive, so it was a blast. He also let me drive his S2000 before I ended up getting one. I had to drive out to Des Moines, I believe it was. Or was it Nebraska? Something like that, to pick out my S2000. But I mean, 40,000 miles for $16,000 for an S2000 that was in great shape. I mean, car prices were a lot more chill back in 2011. Well, this AUXITO light upgrade, I'm really enjoying it. When I back up at work, it's like, man, I can see everything fine. Getting used to the faster blinkers. But it's a nice little upgrade. If anybody wants some upgrade on their LED lights, check out the description. There's a link and a code for, I think, 15% off. But if you get on the website and search, they don't actually have a 2023 Honda Civic, so you'd have to cut and paste or just search for Honda Civic, and I can, within the description, I'll tell you exactly which light bulbs to get. But I did email the company and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to sell these if you guys don't fix your website, or just makes it more difficult, we'll say it like that. But yeah, I ended up replacing my trunk light, my rear blinker, and then my backup lights for like when you reverse and stuff like that. And I like them. They're brighter, and if it helps grandma not back into me when I'm backing up in the middle of the night, then it was worth it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna wait a few weeks before I do anything. I could see myself maybe getting the spoon mirror, but that's the only thing that really caught my eye. I think I was looking at the website from Dream Automotive, or possibly some kind of upgrade as far as security system, kill switch, you know. Ghost lock was another one I was looking at. It seems like it's a reasonable price that offers several different layers of added security for your car. Because this is a car, I'm a little older. I'm 42 right now. This is a car I plan to keep forever, and probably in the next year to 3 years, I'm gonna pick up a second car, probably a Honda hybrid, and drive that during the winter and when the weather's bad and stuff like that. did enjoy driving a Honda Insight. It was a 2020. It was like an Atkins style hybrid. So I had a 1.5 liter single overhead cam. And when I would drive roads like this, you know, not the highway, I could drive out to my parents' house. It was like a 12-mile drive. I could literally hit, if I drove the car extremely efficient, literally like 70 mpg. It was fun. It was like a video game. It was like, how can I always increase my gas mileage? Letting off the gas, using the little thingies up here to like add resistance as you come up to the light. You know, being very gentle on the throttle, so you'll be in the electric mode. That's why I think it could be cool. I mean, of course, owning an older NSX or even the newer one with the hybrid version, you know. But maybe one day. I think my next thing after this will try to save for a house. But oh yeah, I know what I might want to order is these right here. They're still on back order for a few months, and I'd really like to get the factory ones. It looks like Dream Automotive has one that looks pretty close to the factory. I don't know how close the weave is. I'm gonna have to download the pictures and really look at them, but it looks pretty decent. So that could be a thing too, but that's one of those, you put money down and then you don't see the return investment for a few months. And if I spend money, I like to get the part installed, you know what I mean? But the Alcantara boots, you know, works great. If anybody's wanting to do that, it's not too difficult. There's a plastic nut that goes, you know, underneath this, and that was a pain in the butt to get off. There's some videos on how to do it, but man, I was not having any luck. Took it up to Honda and they did it for free, and then actually installed the rest of it. Yeah, you can hear that faster blinker. Honda, that could be interesting too. I would have to ship off my ECU to get it jailbroken, anywhere from 3 to 5 days, possibly a little longer. If I did that during the summer or take vacation time at my main job, I could make that work and just, you know, ride my scooter. That's always a possibility. And then do more upgrades down the road. But that's a little hefty. That's about $1,000, I think. They also do a jailbroke brake tour. So that could be, I don't know, a way to get it done, I guess. But I think I looked on their list, and there's not a tour in this area. I think the closest one is a few hours away, so I'll be putting more miles on the car, but decisions, what to do. But yeah, that's where I'm at. In June of this year, I will own the car for 2 years. And it's been great. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. My insurance is super cheap on this car. Let's switch it up and let's go to sport mode and get a little bit more bounce going on. The other day it was pretty funny. I was on this street right here. I went this way. I saw a Civic Type R. And on the way back, after I picked up a package from the store, I saw the same guy. It was pretty cool. We waved both times. So there are a few Civic Type R's in this area. It's probably hard to hear, but I do have little baby burbles and pops. Nothing crazy, just real minor. Well, if you guys have any suggestions on what I could do next, anything you would like me to make a video on, I'm thinking, you know, the weather wasn't very good today, or I was thinking about actually doing a review of all the different modifications, give you the names, links of all the products that I have, for those that might be interested. The first thing I ever did to this car was I tinted it, so. And then funny story, I accidentally ordered this while I was checking pricing, and so that kind of that was the second thing I got, was this carbon fiber console. Which, you know, I love it, it's beautiful, but I kind of missed the silver because I got it so quickly after I got the car. We got a fun little roundabout coming up here, so hopefully the wind isn't too bad. gets windy. That's why we got this warm weather. Wind, wind, wind. Let's see what our temperatures are looking like here. 186, a little bit warmer. Well guys, if you're still watching, I appreciate it. I could always use more likes and subs. I'm pretty close to monetization, and that'll be nice because then I could buy more car parts for my YouTube money. So, you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, and again, comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or just anything you want to say. All right guys, peace out. Have a wonderful day.